Hi, morning everyone. How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. If you're passing through, thank you so much for tuning in. All right, I'm getting ready for work. Let's see, I'm just gonna do a short live here. Just want to kind of talk a little bit more about, you know, some of us who are doing live stream at work because I've been on TikTok, and TikTok is the go-to place nowadays, it seems, because you find out a lot of information on TikTok. Yeah, there's so many things that people post on TikTok. Sometimes I'm wondering if it's even real. So, yeah. So the other day we had a nurse who actually went viral because she was at work and she was doing a live stream. And that kind of went, sideways because she's at a point where it seems as though she lost her job and her license is at risk. There's so many things that are going on. But anyways, I thought that a lot of persons would have kind of seen the video by now because as I say, on TikTok, it's like a viral video. Every nurse is like posting about it because nobody would be expecting a nurse, especially to be going viral, at work while you're medicating a patient, or not necessarily because, we never really see the patient, but she called the name. But nobody was expecting for somebody to be a nurse at work and doing med pass and be live streaming. So everybody was talking about it. But I thought that some of these nurses on TikTok or on the social media platform here would kind of see the video and kind of learn, read the comments. But I keep on seeing other persons doing the same thing. A lot of nurses are doing the same med pass live stream at work. And I'm like, are we that quick to be losing our license? And a lot of these folks are like new nurses. They're like new nurses. And I'm like, don't we try to see other persons work and see what is going on and try not to follow in their footstep? But yeah, so it's just a little bit concerning that that is something that is becoming a trend and nobody not learning, nobody not understanding some of the implications of going live at work. But I know some persons will definitely go live at work because they're sharing like educational information. Hi everyone, thank you so much. Double tap the screen. All right, you can always subscribe so you can come back to the video later on. All right, but a lot of persons will go live streaming at work, especially as a nurse. But I think a lot of times if they are showcasing like, some equipment and it is okay with the facility, then they will go ahead and live stream. So it's more for not necessarily always their personal brand, but sometimes it's for the company that they're working with. So definitely as long as you're not involving like the patients, their information, sharing any of those, then it should be okay as long as the company, your employee, is fine with it. Some persons definitely do it because they want to grow their personal brand. Like say for example, me going to work now and I want to get more views while I'm at work because content creation is ahead of it. It's a lot, it's a lot. Especially working a full-time job, content creation is a lot because it takes a lot of time for you to do the videos and then edit, upload, do all of the SEOs that they talk about that me still don't get. You understand? So it's a lot of work. So I think persons are trying to just build their brand while, vlogging on the job. And I think that's the problem because you can't find time. You're working 12 hours, so you can't find time to do the content itself. And so you just go to work and just feel as though, okay, me sitting at the nurse's station or me passing medication is the best time to go ahead and just showcase a little thing about nursing. And really and truly, we're putting our license at risk. Hi, Nalia. Thank you so much. I am from Jamaica. I'm currently in the US now. Thank you so much. Oh, remember to double tap the screen, people. All right. So yeah, so a lot of persons will definitely do that. Another thing is you have some nurses who will definitely come onto the platform and, or not only nurses, but everybody. They will come onto the platform and, just vent. They want you to know what they're going through. And so sometimes I think, especially for us as nurses, It's just the timing. The timing is just wrong. You can't be at work venting, doing a live stream in your uniform. Your ID is all showing, or persons are able to identify exactly where you're at. I think if you're on your lunch break, I think it's okay. But at the same time, in your uniform, your ID on your lunch break, it's not okay, because somebody, when it comes on to social media policy at different institutions, you have to read upon it, you have to understand it, and make sure you're not breaking it, because you can go viral and then lose your job. And who wants to lose their job? You don't want to lose your job because of a viral moment. Because when I think about, like, all of those benefits that comes from your job, you're talking about your 401k plan, you're talking about, health insurance, like the consistency with your salary, all of that, you're gonna be losing it, and then you're gonna just tarnish your name, your brand out there. Nobody not gonna want to hire you. You understand? So you just have to be careful. Hi, Chanson. Thank you for tuning in. And oh, that's my part of my name. My name is Stacey Ann. Nurses are awesome. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, nursing is a very good profession. It's very rewarding, but I just hate the fact that we have so many persons who are working so hard, through nursing school. They're graduating, they're getting their jobs, and they're starting to earn a little money, and then out of the blues they just do one little simple thing. It might be an influence from one of their friends, another colleague, social media itself, just wanting to go viral, and then they just mess up their lives. It's just a sad situation, and I just hope that these folks will be like looking at other persons and just learn from their mistake. Because yeah, your nursing life, so like, that is your life. It is your life, so protect it at all costs. Because if you go through nursing school for 4 years and then in like 1 year you're out of a job because they revoke your license, and your name is out there, your brand is out there, nobody not gonna want to hire you. Even if probably you're going to a supermarket and be working, probably, persons are not gonna want to hire you, because they're probably thinking that you're gonna be live streaming at work as well. You're not gonna be productive as they thought, because you're focused more on being a content creator. So I just feel like if you know definitely you want to be a content creator, then spend the time and do that. But being a content creator and a nurse, it's good, but you just have to remember the time and place. The time and place must be right in order for you to do well at both. All right. Hi, Halest. I am doing well. How are you guys? And where are you from? All right. And then I know sometimes when the department is like slow, we tend to always feel as though that is the perfect time to do like a streaming or a video. But as I say, sometimes, even though I've worked at hospitals before where we have like downtime, and during those times the hospital staff or the charge nurse, the manager, they will go ahead and make sure that you have things to do during those time. So if it means that you're going to be checking off the medications to make sure they're not expired, if it means that you're going to be checking the carts, you talk about your nurse's room, you go in there and clean down. So whatever it is, just so that they don't send you home. You understand? Because when it's downtime, if they see that you're bored, nobody's going to want to pay you. So you just have to make sure that you're being productive. And if it means that you're just going to be walking around checking items for expiration dates, then it's better than being sent home, especially when you're doing traveling or any PRN job. It's better than being sent home because you're not productive. You understand? Find something and do, but don't go online and be doing any live streaming, because you're gonna be at so much risk for breaking HIPAA. You understand? And even though sometimes you might be there and you're thinking that, oh, I'm doing a live stream and no patient is, in your area. You have to think about, probably persons are talking. You have to think about probably what is on your desk, because I know that right about now, some persons are zooming in. You understand? People are zooming in to find out what is behind. And it's the same thing. If you have a desk that has paper, persons are going to be zooming in to find out what patient, name is there. And you don't know. Not everybody is your friend on social media. All of you guys are my friends now. But honestly, like, you don't know who is out there. You understand? And so you don't want it to be a case where you do something and you're just being careless about it, and one little zoom in, somebody going to report it to the board, and that's the end of it. You understand? And HIPAA, it's a very serious, when it comes on to HIPAA, it's very serious, and nobody wants to play around with HIPAA. You understand? You don't want to violate HIPAA at any time. So just be careful out there. You understand? And that's about it. So definitely remember to protect the patient rights, the patient's privacy in everything that we're doing, especially as nurses here. And then from there. All right. So how are you guys doing though? I see one person here from Australia. What time is it now in Australia? And are you being affected by the flood and or the rain in Australia right now? Because I saw a video the other day, yesterday, where the streets was like covered with water. So I'm just kind of checking. It is 9:10 right now where I'm at here in Texas. So I'm trying to leave out. I'm supposed to try and leave out for 9 o'clock, but as usual I'm running behind the clock. So, and then I'll be heading on the road. Hopefully I'll be finished by 1 o'clock today. Okay, you're in Brisbane. Okay. All right. So what time is it now in your area? Oh, so you should be sleeping. You don't have work tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up feeling like a zombie. Because I know when I go to my bed late, sometimes I'll go to my bed later than that, 2 o'clock, and still be waking up at 5 o'clock, 5:30. But the thing about it is that once I go and take a shower for work, I am feeling good. So, but sometimes I feel like a zombie. Yeah, especially when I was working in the emergency room. If I go to my bed that late and then try to wake up at 5:30, then because sunlight don't come out that early. So that's a big challenge for me here in the state. Sun don't come and wake me up. I have to rely heavily on the clock. So yeah. Oh, you're a stay-at-home mom. Okay. Isn't that boring sometimes? I think it is boring sometimes. I don't know. I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I think I'm gonna be bored. Yeah, I think I would be bored for some strange reason. How many kids do you have? I would be bored. I don't know. And I'm gonna just put this in. Yeah. I always imagine myself with like 2 kids, one on each side, going to the supermarket. It's hectic, 3 boys under 5. Oh my word, yeah, couldn't do that one day. I have a 6-year-old, and he's not a handful though. Well trained, good boy. So doesn't make much noise. He knows when to go to bed. I don't really need to tell him more than once or twice, that it's bedtime, tablet time is done. So I don't have any problem with that. I'm just worried that probably the next one, if I'm supposed to have another one, I'm just worried that I'm not going to have a really good, well, the pregnancy wasn't that good, but yeah, the pregnancy was awful because I was sick for the entire time. But in terms of the, after the baby pops out, I've had a really good, 6 years, let's just say. The only problem or challenge I have with him is the fact that he doesn't eat. He's like very picky. So my Jamaican food that is being cooked here, the little boy not eating it. The only thing he wants is like mashed potato, macaroni and cheese, not even meat. So I don't know. Only white food. And chicken breasts, which is not bad. Him look healthy. Doctor say I'm healthy. So that's the most important thing. So I'm not really worried that much. But he loves his fruits. But in terms of food that I am used to or what I cook here, it's always a challenge. He doesn't eat it that much. He'll eat dumpling a lot of the times. All right. Oh, and if you're new here, I did my braids. So yeah, I did this. It's definitely frustrating when they are picky. Yeah. But I actually stopped being fussy about it because doctor said that he's fine. So if doctor says he's okay, I'm good. So, but I try to make sure that he eats breakfast before going to school. And then the thing about it is the same thing he eats for breakfast, he'll eat for lunch. So, because when I send him with stuff to school, he doesn't want it, or what they serve at school, he doesn't want it. So I just send the same thing that he has for lunch, for breakfast, for lunch, and he'll eat it when he comes home in the evening. Sometimes that's the same thing he wants again, and I'm like, no, you're crazy. Can't eat sausage, egg, and bread for the entire day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I have to literally sit down and tell him to chew, go ahead and eat up, in order for him to actually have something in the evening. But if you leave it up to him, you won't even know that he's hungry because he doesn't even like, snack, the sweet, all of those sweet stuff. He's not that kind of person. All right. So this sulfur spray, I like it on my scalp. Doesn't give me any itches on the scalp when I do this. Hi, Kejatan. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. All right, well, I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. So whatever we're doing out there, just make sure we're being professionals. And it's not all about nursing in terms of, going live. Whatever job you're in, just make sure you're not going live on the people them work. You understand? Just make sure you're not doing any live on their job. Because employers don't want to know that they're paying you to do something and you're there on your personal time, it seems, doing live streaming. So that's it. Alrighty. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. Possibly. Yeah. If I wake up early, then definitely I will be here. Until then, I will see you. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube page. It's all about nursing, travel, and lifestyle. I am going to feature some nurses where we talk about a day in the life of a nurse. At least not at work, but day in the life of a nurse. I also just share just general information regarding nursing. My house call visits, I'll talk about, one and two things regarding those. What I like about nursing, what is not going so well. I am in geriatrics. I'm a geriatric nurse practitioner, so I do house calls currently. So yes, I do talk about a lot of information. I also talk about my transition from Jamaica to the US here, the process. So anything regarding, how I started my journey here in the US, you can always go ahead and feel free to ask about that. So if you know anybody that is a nurse, and they can always come onto my channel and just be a part of it. So which department? Oh, you're a doctor. Okay, programmer, pro gamer. Which department? I need to ask a question, like which gloves you use. The same one that you use. All right, same brand, the same size. Hi, Inert. Okay, yes, thank you so much for tuning in, Inert Visuals. Unfortunately, you got me at a time when I'm actually leaving, but remember, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page so that way you can follow along. You can also check out the content that I share. I share a lot of information on my channel. So definitely you can subscribe and follow. You can also follow me on TikTok as well at ThinkNursing1, where I showcase like shorter versions, content as well. But it's a lot of work, so definitely you have to bear with me. You're in India? Okay, no problem. Well, as in the brand, I honestly don't know the brand. I just know that I like the blue color and it just fits okay. So it depends on your hand size. You can always go ahead. There are different gloves all over. you can go ahead and choose which one is preferred for you. All right, you can go on Amazon and look at the different brand. You can look at the different size, and then from there, okay, that's nice. Well, gloves is gloves. As long as you are, you're protecting yourself, I think you should be fine. All right, but until then, I would say thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Enjoy your day now and stay safe. All right, bye.